It is, as you see, Group C in the Thunder and Fire Cup. 4 players already qualified for the playoffs, already in the top 8. That's Moon, WFC, TH, and Lawliot. One Night Elf will follow here from this group, but yeah, there is clearly one favorite and there is one underdog, and they meet in the winner bracket semifinal here. 1-2-0 against 14 Sui. 1-2-0, a former 2-time world champion. Want to grab the big monies again, and 14 Sui. Not even 18 years old. The pressure is immense on him here in this battle. The biggest tournament that he ever played, the biggest stage that he was ever on, and he is up against the Juggernaut in Undead versus Night Elf. He is up against 1-2-0.
Yeah, I like that you bring up pressure here, because absolutely that can be a big problem here, possibly for 14 Sway going into this match. But I think it's also differs from personality to personality. I think this may resonate with a lot of our viewers as well in their own ladder games, be it Warcraft 3 or whatever. What I'm trying to get here is when you are expected to be the worst player, when you see your opponent is supposed to be stronger than you, does that make you feel under pressure? Do you feel like, oh my god, I have such a low chance, I don't know how I'm supposed to beat him, I'm probably gonna lose? Or are you gonna approach that match with a different mindset of being like, hey, I have nothing to lose here, I can go into this, nobody's expecting anything from me, so I can play my free game? I have heard from many professional athletes, not only in esports but also in other sports, that when you're the big underdog, you feel a lot more free because there is not that pressure of the fans or whoever expecting you to win. Whereas I personally, of course I don't play tournaments, but when I play a ladder game and I see that guy I'm facing has like 85% win rate, I'm like, oh man, I don't think I can beat him. And already I'm at a deficit mentally, but I don't know that that's the case for everybody.
That's true. Absolutely. Well said, my man.
Well, how's that for you?
Well,
player's forces are under attack.
Usually I strive when I know I'm better than the other guy.
Yeah, me too. I wonder what how that is between players, you know? Who thrives being the underdog and who thrives being the favorite?
Well, I think Foggy doesn't like the favorite position, but we'll go into that a little later. We see the first creep spot here, and it's very important for 14 Sway to not deny anything, and he gets the experience from the first Tuska. 1-2-0 is coming over, and that's another thing. Like, if you are nervous, if you feel pressured, and your opponent is coming over right away, so he won't allow 14 Sway here to get into some kind of rhythm. And, oh, misses the coil. And the last hit as well, so that's level 2 for the keeper. The harass for 1-2-0 doesn't pay off, so the nerves seem to be okay for 14 Sway here, but first little mistake by 1-2-0.
Yeah, and completely unnecessary. That is a super sloppy mistake. Sometimes you feel pressure to throw the coil because there's a lot of damage on the creeps and you don't have the time to click on it and see. But there wasn't even that much damage there. He easily had the time to click on it and see that it's not at low HP. He could have summoned skeletons, get a few hits in, and then steal the last hit, and then would have kept the keeper with treants only. That is honestly a big mistake in the early. But of course, far from over. He gets that coil. That one can't be prevented, but keeper's level 2 anyways. I wonder what went wrong with this creep camp, by the way. It was taken slowly by the Night Elf. Usually the DK isn't even supposed to arrive in time to be able to steal any last hit.
It was a very fast hero. Maybe that, like, it was the Alta Ziggurat build.
Oh, it's true. Right, it's not the usual ghoul opening. So maybe with that you're fast enough? But we've seen games before where the Blade Master was only able to make it barely in time with the Scroll of Speed, so I think that could still have been done a little bit better. Perhaps summon 4 treants instead of 2. Alright, but let's get a little bit more into what's happening in this game. He cancelled the expansion with the DK only. That's very good. And the Acolyte. Not even supposed to happen. There's supposed to be a Wisp here to detonate against the skeletons and then that way keep the Tree of Life safe. As I was mentioning earlier, 1-2-0 has been experimenting a little bit with builds. He went for the 1-0 at DK first tech, but in the end still is going ghouls. But very delayed. For that reason, he wasn't able to creep early on, but now he has a decent number again. And now he's going to be able to creep and finally get his level 2.
Yeah, he took out the little green spot next to his base as well with a couple of ghouls while he was harassing, so multitasking seems to be working fine for 1-2-0. 14 Sway, of course, needs to stay close to his expansion, so this cancellation will not happen again. He builds a couple of Moonwells with his resource that he has texted tier 2. That's fine, but 120 is super far ahead in tech. Graveyard is coming, so I can only assume it's a Fiend build and not Gargoyles, which we've seen a couple of times already in this tournament and also in other Undead games.
I don't think I've ever seen 120 play Gargs, I think
I saw it once, but yeah, that's like 1 in 150 games or so.
And Gargs have been looking better and better, but when you have the Fiend micro of 120, it might be a better idea to play Fiends, actually. Yeah. You might be able to do the same with Gargs, but you can't really play him better than Fiends, because I don't know that you can play Fiends better than he does, so...
How does it work, by the way? I'm not too sure. If the acid bomb is in the air and you use stone form, will you dodge the acid bomb? Because that would be a very good play to circumvent the damage. And for 120's micro, absolutely possible to do that.
So when they go into stone form, they do become magic immune. But acid bomb's like kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So if you don't know, it's no shame for me to not know it either. We have 2 claws on the Death Knight here. Very nice equipment for the Lich that's coming out very soon. But on the other side, we have a Panel of Energy for this Keeper who is level 3 already. Went for the Entangle level 2. And here you see the damage. He's breaking through these roots with the Invul Potion that he just found.
That's the big Invul gone forever, though. He could have just gotten out of that with a staff. I think that was very impatient. I cannot help but feel that that was a mistake, honestly. And now, it's gonna be the TP in the end. It's just staff. Why is he not staffing? Now it's too late to staff. 120, what are you doing? Thankfully, the DK just barely gets out of range, and the Keeper now in trouble as well. Is he gonna pop the Invul here himself?
Yes, he does. There's an Entangle against the Ghoul Acid Bomb as well, so that's a double kill most likely for 14 Sway, who's playing a very good game in his pro debut here. Kills another Archer, is 120. Ghouls are coming in, but the second Ghoul is dying, and the DK is still super duper low. There could just be an Acid Bomb on him, but okay, there's an Unholy Aura, regenning against it. Mana Potion now as well, but man, this is way better than expected. 14 Sway lacking a little bit of macro here, I guess, as the Tree of Life is only now walking over. 120 is expecting the expansion to be up already to push this, but this is dangerous with the DK.
Yeah, 120, they're very stubborn and getting away luckily. With better Keeper movement, that would have been a TP forced, but 15, 14 Sway, we really have to stick with one here.
Yeah, let's say 14. I mean, the grid on Liquipedia says 14, the overlay says 14.
14 Sway it is. He's not 15 anyways, so. But yeah, 120 here. There are a few errors in his play so far that another Night Elf might be punishing harder. But as it stands, he's in an okay position. Yes, he's going to be going up against an expansion. But on this here very map, he showed against Moon that this doesn't have to mean GG for him.
Oh yeah, the long journeys from Night Elf expansion over to the red spot, back into the Undead base. We've seen this 7, 8 times in that match against Moon. The kiting was surreal. 14 Sway though, creeping with the heal ward, won't lose any HP. The first Hippo Riders are out, as he can of course pick them up now without researching the taming upgrade. Oh, nicely staffing. Coil wasted for 120.
Yeah, well done. Going for the Lich now next. Trying to trigger the Mana Potion on the DK. Will be able to do this. And that's the Mana Potion gone now. Lich no more Nova, so he can't really hope for any more kills. And this is shaping up to be a pretty decent mid-game for Mr. 14 Sway here. I think the key, as oftentimes is the case against Undead, is don't get complacent. Don't let him creep. At the moment, the Lich is level 1 only. Once he gets to level 3, this is where the problems really start coming in. So, try to contain him. Don't let him get all those experience points. And in the meantime, make army.
Yeah, we do have tier 3 now. That's the orb. He's waiting for the gold. And then we have a plus 20 Lich. Plus a heal scroll as well. First 2 fiends are out. Stat use as well. So a lot of mana to use now for 120.
Wow, but that's a really early scroll of healing.
Yeah, I thought the same. Like, maybe
early
just
scroll,
stealing it.
Early mana potion? That is... Oh, did he get it from the shop? No, he didn't. It was from his own shop.
Okay, that's weird.
So that's 450 gold invested early into consumables. One of them gone already. Still far away from 50 supply. So he really doesn't have the big Fiend numbers, which in the end won him the game against Moon.
Yeah, but I think if there's one unit that can win him the game, it's the Lich. He gets the Robe of the Magi, that's 6 damage more, so plus 26. First entangle onto a Fiend this spell, though also the Treants, very well done. Breaking this Fiend free from the root, saving it now. Nice Nova into the Hippogriffs, he hits all of them.
He's gonna get one Fairy for his troubles at least. That, of course, 14 Sway can easily afford to lose. This is mainly distraction here. Keep your Expo safe, you don't want that to be pressured. And it's also keeping the Undead away from creeping for a little while. So losing a few Fairies here and there is totally fine. I like the strategical play right here by 14 Sway. It's really smart. Keeping the Expo safe and keeping him from creeping at the same time. As long as you don't lose too much, this is a very, very smart play here at the moment.
Absolutely agree. Also killed the Acolyte, so there's no counter expansion possible for 1-2-0 at the moment. Keeper is close to level 4. Alchemist needs a lot of experience to go to level 3, which is a big upgrade, but until then he's fine. Fairy Dragon's in the main, breaking 50 supply now with that expansion that he has. And he also has the Engine of War ready to defend this Expo, because the push for 1-2-0 is coming. We do not see a second crypt in 1-2-0's base, which usually is necessary to hold on against the mass of the Night Elf.
And 14 Sway still refusing to fight, going for the counterattack, but 1-2-0 is ready for this. One Spirit Tower already upgraded, the other one halfway through. So these towers should be able to hold this by themselves. That being said, though, it's still going to be expensive. All Acolytes off of mining. Ghoul's going to start to fall. And now he's going for the Haunted Gold Mine, in fact. This is going to force a response.
He needs to repair, and then there's Acid Bomb against the Acolytes. He could lose quite a bit of them, but on the other side, his tree is about to fall. The Wisps are all gone. He can't repair anymore. Engine of War is distracting. How much damage does he do in the base? The Keeper is already low thanks to the towers, but a new set of Treants has been summoned. Acolytes are falling, and of course, there is no backup gold mine for 1-2-0 here, while 14 Sway has his main base still. Oh, I love the heal ward, man. This is just genius. Can't be reached. So much healing. 1-2-0 now forced into the town portal. The tree is falling, though. Perfect town portal there. Counter TP out by 14 Sway. But how much gold did 1-2-0 lose, and how many Acolytes did he lose?
A lot. He's down to 2 only left with 30 gold. May want to sell some items, but they're all so good. You don't want to sell these items. So he's going to be down in the income department for a long time. But he killed the expansion and set up the sentry ward. So you see the new one coming up right away. Can cancel that easily. Yeah, 14 Sway there. The plan was force him to come back by pressuring the Haunted Gold Mine, but he just didn't have enough damage to do enough DPS to it quickly enough. And yes, it was expensive for 1-2-0 here to kill the expansion, but it's totally worth it. Because he's got the way better army. The only way the Night Elf can win this game is with a big economy advantage, and that he doesn't have at the moment.
Oh boy, this item though, Ancient Django of Endurance. This game is about kiting this matchup, and if you have more movement speed, that helps you a lot.
Yeah.
Also, more attack speed is always appreciated, but it's all about the movement speed here. Nice scout by 1-2-0 with this Destroyer, who is fast enough, or is he with the Endurance aura? Not too sure. It's gonna be a big fight. 44 supply for the Undead, 58 for the Night Elf.
1-2-0 really patient, not even going for the Expo cancel, instead looking for the Creep Jack right now. That's a good Creep Jack indeed. 3 webs coming out onto the Hippos right away. They are so easily taken out. Treants being summoned. Only 1 Destroyer in the air, by the way. Wants to reserve that for the Entangle, so not against the Treants, the Dispel. So far, Treants honestly not that scary so late into the game. And web after web, kill after kill. Not a single Fiend or statue or anything has died. He's focusing on Destroyer first and foremost. But just nothing is falling, and again, the magnificent kiting from 1-2-0. He seriously didn't lose a single unit.
That's absolutely unbelievable.
Here.
Like, he was 10 supply down or something, and now it's almost equal. The expansion isn't up. He can easily kill that now. Oh, easily? I'm not too sure. It's finishing. So he gets the fortified armor. But what a fight.
Even better now. It finished, didn't mine any money. You're killing it. He couldn't even cancel. Or he didn't even cancel.
Yeah. Sick. Just...
The early game was a little bit shaky. There were a few flaws in there by 1-0, but in the late game, once again, he shines.
1-0 has 6 supply in his base. There's a statue and a Fiend preventing another harass. So it wasn't even the 43 supply that were displayed. It was even less.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Of course, also, When you're the Night Elf in this situation, yes, he had like 56 supply or whatever, but you need a lot more than that if it's only fairy dragons. Moon had 80 supply fairies, and even against that, WFZ was able to hold on for a while.
And the
you
Lich
need
is,
to mass them.
The Lich is plus 32. Look at this inventory. It's just sick.
And he's close to level 4 as well.
Yep.
Ooh.
It's plus 4 damage.
Hell yeah. And plus 60 mana, let's go. DK, by the way, close to level 5. Dude, we've seen these undead heroes rise so high in levels these last couple of days so quickly. And that's the downside of going for this mass strat. Yes, you're going to have a lot of units, but they're also going to start feeding experience pretty heavily. And when the undeads play dual hero, which has been getting more and more popular as of late, they get up so high so quickly in levels.
1-0 is finding another expansion attempt here. 14 Sway tried to switch it up from the natural to the bottom right, which is a little more unusual to expand because it's so far away. But he scouts it again immediately while leveling up. He got an Invo Potion now just to be safe. A Talisman of Evasion is also never wrong against this mass units because the more hits you receive, the higher is the chance to dodge something. So the value of the Talisman is a little higher. Alchemist is very tanky though. Can he be some sort of carry later on? Because the Keeper is not going to do it late game.
If this Alchemist was level 5, I'd say maybe. But it's a level 3 Alch. It's a monumental task if he's supposed to do it. And yeah, but you're right. He is the only unit that's really strong. If you have the worst unit, then at least you need to have a lot of them. And he does have a lot of fairies, but it's not 70 supply fairies, which is what he needs. And now 1-0 is getting impatient, even moving into the Night Elf base, actually. Going for the production, going for the fairies. This is going to force a response here soon. Creep Camp has been taken. Alchemist almost level 4. Second Pendant of Energy. Okay, there's going to be lots of mana to use. But then again, this Keeper, what has he really done past the early game?
Yeah, not much really. He played a very good early and early mid. Oh, another expansion, another ancient, but he's gonna scout it and he's gonna kill it. But here comes 14 Sway into the fight. Can he kill a Fiend now? Acid Bomb applied, but the position is very good for 1-0 once again. He wanted to start this kiting game once more, but 14 Sway not falling for it. Just summoning more Treants to have a little better of a defense. 48 supply only because he invested so much gold into an expansion, and now the Undead has the supply lead.
Yeah, banking a lot as well. The spell was used already, so now he's going for the DK, but he's level 5. He's got the Talisman. He's pretty tanky. A full duration Entangle doesn't even get him below half HP still, with more than 500 left. Finally, a Fiend's gonna fall. The first Fiend in this game. And he's gonna need a lot more of those kills. Alchemist already quite low on HP. Has the Invul though, so he should be safe for the time being, unless the Nova surprises him. But the Invul comes in time. More and more webs coming in as well. DK once again getting focused, but this time there's a quick dispel ready from the Destroyer. Kiting continues. Honestly, this isn't perfect kiting. I think 1-0 realizes he doesn't have to micro this perfectly. Maybe getting a little complacent, but it's good enough. And now the webs are coming in. The Alchemist is no longer in this fight. Where is your damage, good sir? It's gone. It's only a little bit of tickle here and there. Alchemist is coming back in. Okay, now the damage is going to increase. Somewhat at least. But it's not enough. It's going to stay with this one single Fiend kill. He's not going to get anything else. But losing so much in the process. In fact, the level 5 Lich even will be reached before the GG is called. And that was fairly one-sided.
Indeed. Good start, though, for 14 Sway. I think if you just look at the, until the mid-game, you don't see that this is 14 Sway's first big tournament. So the nerves weren't showing. But especially in the late game with the higher supply numbers, you saw the difference.
Yeah.
How strong 1-0 is. Of course, the Lich was kind of a carry, but the scouting, pretty impeccable. Seeing the expansions everywhere, being there right in time. The decision in the late mid-game to take the fight first and let the expansion finish and then kill it, that's just so good.
Yeah, it was very smart. Realizing the advantage he had. Seeing more and more of those fairy games, I wonder if in those scenarios, the usual line of thinking should be reconsidered. The usual line of thinking in this matchup is for the Night Elf. You don't have to creep so much yourself, maybe, It's more important to not let him creep.
Yeah.
But we've seen high-level alchemists carry games hard. Moon, for example, prioritizes solo creeping the alchemist heavily in the mid-game to get a fairly early level 5, which is really powerful. And you also have to think about, in that matchup, with a specific strategy, yes, undead heroes, if they're high level, will be very good against opposing heroes. But against fairies, they don't really do much. The DK is going to be good with the Aura and the Coil, but the Lich's Nova isn't going to be doing anything. So maybe you actually should try to prioritize creeping yourself. I don't know. An interesting thing to ponder.
Yeah, maybe if you creep, there's the number of fiends is too high. Because you usually want to entangle and like kill one or two, chip them away from the undead army. So maybe that's the big downside. Not too sure. I am very sure that I'm very happy about the subs that we have. Thank you, Zakmak. Hey Cutie123 for the 213 sub, saying, yo, love you guys, keep up the good work. Thank you, Cutie. And Herr Wuse with the 1-year sub-anniversary. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. Of course, every sub helps, every donation helps, every merchandise purchase helps. So feel free to check out the links in the stream description. Here we go, map number 2, and it's a very rare thing to see. It is Twisted Meadows.
Exactly. Usually a map that the undeads will want to veto immediately, especially going up against Moon. This is not Moon though, this is 14 Sway. But this is a hard map anyways. It always, against Night Elf, I'd say, was rather difficult. The redeeming factor here was that you could creep in the middle fairly easily with the skeletons. I guess against Night Elf you still can do it with the ghouls, but okay, I'm starting to ramble a little bit here. Long story short, this map is pretty bad for undead, also really bad for human, by the way. For orc, it's definitely the best. For Night Elf, it's okay, but against undead, I'd say it's still pretty good. So let's see how this goes. We should expect at least one expansion. Wouldn't be surprised to see even more than that from the Night Elf.
True, we don't really know the skill set of 14 Sway yet, because we haven't seen him too much, so we don't know how good he is in the macro department. Can he play it like a Lawlight or a Moon with 5 to 6 expansions attempt at the same time to make sure that one of them is coming through? We'll see about that, I guess. Keeper it is, and 14 Sway is starting right next to the mercenary camp, drawing out the creeps and start this camp. 120 is scouting this with an Acolyte through the middle, deciding to go for a DK Ghoul build early on.
And did we even mention this, by the way? 14 Sway used to be a human player, but at the moment he's playing Night Elf. Don't know if he changed his mind entirely or if that has more to do with the patch, but recently we've only seen him playing Night Elves, whereas previously, yes, he was a human player, and there actually didn't even have too many bad results. I remember one game specifically of him utterly destroying Chimiko in a human mirror. That was pretty impressive.
Well, I guess even I can destroy Chimiko in human mirror.
Okay, that's a challenge for next WGL. I'm gonna hold you to that. Oh my god, did he steal it with the Acolyte? No. The Keeper got it. It was close, though. The ghouls are coming in for the harass. He got the Shadow Priest, which is a really big deal. And honestly, a big mistake. The Night Elf can't allow for the Acolyte to steal this. Now this is all going to be so much more difficult to deal with, as 120 is becoming super aggressive in this early game. First Wisp, almost gonna fall. It's Coil first, of course, and it's Keeper now. He needs one kill. Just one little kill. A Skeleton will do it for the level 2, but now being stuck on level 1, this is so difficult for him to deal with.
Yeah. Saves this Wisp into a Moonwell, but of course the ghouls will tear this down. Is there a skull or something? No, there's still the Acolyte. I thought, okay, maybe he's gonna tower push or something. Wisp dies. Oh, ghoul gets coiled. And still nothing lost without Entangle. Like, this is so crazy again. Treants being resummoned, desperately trying to get the kill, but 120 is also not using the Rod of Necromancy here to not give 14 Sway the easy kills and the easy level 2.
Yeah, that's so smart. That's so hard to resist as well. Usually when you're the undead, you're spamming that rod. Every time it's up, go, go, go. But now it would actually be a downside. So, can he still remain without letting any blood here? Without losing any actual units? Oh, seems like now he's gonna start summoning some skeletons. Oh no, he's gonna go for the Berserker? Really? Undead Berserker on tier 1, okay.
Haven't seen that yet, but okay. Nice against the Treants, I guess. And damage in general.
By the way, it's another greater mana, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts again. Very good inventory. Now he has level 2. Finally gets the Entangle dispelled by the Shadow Priest, but the Berserker falls. And that was a big loss. And that is one of the reasons why undeads usually do not go for the Berserker, because he can't coil it.
Small mistake there by 1-0. Dispel not in range quickly enough. And that's a costly kill, man. That hurts. But now he's coming in again. He is so aggressive in this game.
Yeah. Is he staying on tier 1? I'm not sure. Oh, there's the Entangle against the Shadow Priest, dispelling it, but the damage is sufficient. But walking into a surround with the Keeper, almost.
Was extremely close. Would have been hard to hold that surround anyways with so many archers nearby, but might have been a TP in the end. So 2 Berserkers bought, 2 mercenaries rather. 2 mercenaries lost.
Yep.
He slowed down the Keeper, yes, but he also slowed himself down. Not too sure that this opening was too good for 1-0. In fact, I would venture to say that it wasn't. Finally, now he's gonna get his level 2, the ever so important level up. And 15 sway. What's he doing? 14 sway. God damn it!
It's so complicated.
He doesn't have the lumber for an expansion, really. Oh, he's pretty close. Tier 2. He's pretty close to that as well, so it might be hard to go for second hero production and all that good jazz once he reaches it. But seems like Expo is exactly the plan right now.
Yeah, has to go for it, I guess. It's already a little late. He didn't start it, but level 3 plus this inventory is a very strong thing to have in the early mid-game. One thing to mention about this Mercenary Camps play by 1-0. If his opponent is Moon or Lawliot, he would never do that. Like, that was some sort of cheesy play. Because he knows he's that much stronger than his opponent is.
Yeah, and as I said, this could have been punished way harder. If the Night Elf gets the Shadow Priest there, there's basically nothing you can do.
Yep.
So yeah, a bit of errors coming out of both. From 1-0 side, perhaps out of, I don't know,
A player's forces are
inconsiderate view of his opponent, whereas 14 sway, well, he's certainly the big underdog, and we're starting to see a little bit more here in game number 2, perhaps already, but let's not call this doom and gloom all the way through, because he does have the Expo coming up. It's super far away from the undead main, one of the many reasons why this is a good Night Elf map. And in fact, this time it seems like 1-0 is not going to look to pressure it, but instead he's counter-expanding on tier 2. That's something I haven't seen in a long time.
Indeed. He has the counter expansion coming up, and we have the first donation of the day. Thank you very much. One of the best nicknames on Twitch, Yannis Canis Kappa, for the 10 euro donation.
That's a good one.
Much love and big smiles on our faces here. Thank you very much, man. I'm glad you enjoy the Rocket Beans show with me.
All right, interesting moment now. The Wisp is scouting the Expo. How does 14 Sway respond to this? First, we're gonna have a bit of an engagement, going for the Keeper first with the Coil Nova very aggressively immediately. And that hurts quite a lot with the DK being level 3 here already. Again, an early mana potion, by the way. With that, he can look to find quite a few kills. Greater mana use on the Keeper as well, who is holding his ground and fending off these ghouls and Tangle, proving to be, once again, very strong. As, of course, destroyers are very far away. They always are, but even more so now the case, with tier 3 being delayed in favor of this counter Expo.
Indeed. He has another acid bomb. He could throw them to kill this ghoul. Does not go for it. There was one very nice coil by 120. He stood right next to the ghoul that was hurt, but I guess the ghoul was at like 5 HP or something when he threw it. And the arrow was already in the air. Coil Nova against an archer to keep the damage low. We do have a Shadow Priest now, and Poison Ivy combo onto the DK, trying to force a town portal as there is no potion or anything. Keeper used the big mana potion. He has to use the town portal for sure, or his DK dies. And there we go.
And now it's dangerous because as we look at the mana, there's still one Poison Ivy combo left. He can still go for that. So now, what does the Death Knight do? He is going for the health potion. Okay, that should get him out of the threshold if he's not in a horrible position. But the Expo's finished. But the Ancient of War almost is as well. However, 14 Sway has like barely anything left here. The super strong 2 heroes, but that's it.
Yep. He's trying to reach for this DK, I guess. Otherwise, he could have summoned a set of Treants to attack the expansion even more. But there's no mining at the moment for 120 as he killed the Acolyte. And this is, at the moment, just distraction for his own expansion. There's no Nova anymore. There's coils, yeah, but he uses that on his own unit, so no danger really for 14 Sway. His expansion is up and saturated, so it's fully mining. We see once again the double Ancient of Wind doesn't have to produce that many hippos because there's not too many archers remaining.
Yeah, and the counter expo came up. The weird thing though for Undead, of course, you can't make Acolytes obviously from the Haunted Gold Mine, and he only has the one Black Citadel. That one's upgrading right now, so he can't supply the gold mine. He's gonna have to wait quite a bit longer.
Pretty impressive, by the way, that 14 Sway knew about this expansion. Like, this is very unusual. He still saw it.
Yeah, good job scouting there. Didn't see the Undead for a long time, so maybe he thought, well, perhaps he is looking for that counter expo, and he was right in assuming so. Once again, it's kind of the same as in the last game. You cannot be satisfied going 2 base versus 2 base when you're going for this unit comp. Mass Fiends are going to destroy Mass Fairies again, like it was on game number 1. So, 14 Sway, once again, under the gun. He has to make something work. Either get a 3rd base, maybe even make 2 expansions at the same time. Go full moon, or kill the Undead expansion. Has to be one of those 2.
I agree. Level 4 Keeper, level 2.6 Alchemist with yet another Creep Jack here. But a Shadow Priest for more Dispellers. Destroyer upgrade is not finished, but 14 Sway, should be able to take it out immediately. Yeah, so the 3rd Mercenary falling, and more Treants coming in. Uses that mana for the summon, so the Fiends have a harder life. And 2 Maulers, actually. Very interesting. DK is surrounded there. No TP on him, but also no surround for 14 Sway as he's focusing on the units now. Not keeping
Very
this
fortunate
surround
drop
stuck.
there.
Yeah, the
Very
Invo Potion. But the block
Yeah.
of this Treant, man, it's magnificent. But he's still breaking through this.
Oh, that Greater Invul may have saved his game, honestly.
Yeah.
He could have died there, perhaps. Keeper has a little bit of mana left, 2 more Entangles here if he wants it.
Well,
And
Treants
this
is more
expansion-
important, I guess. He got 2 Maulers, still 3 Treants here, but if he gets like 6 Treants and attacks it, there's no way to hold this Haunted Gold Mine, and I think 120 is aware of it, as he's not interfering with this at all. So the expansion play did not work for the Undead, and this is the situation where the Night Elf wants to be in, with 1 mine up.
Exactly. So, what's the supply count looking like? Oh, it's already shooting up pretty highly here for 14 Sway. Getting close to 60. 70 will be coming in soon. And this is where the critical mass is going to start to hit. First webs coming out. We only have 4 Fiends so far. Well, 4 Fiends is a good number, but at 6, maybe even 7, this is where the damage really gets crazy. And the Lich close to level 3. DK is level 4, which is, by the way... Wait. He skilled the Death Pact, actually, not the Aura.
No, he's holding on to that skill point. He didn't skill yet.
Ah, okay, okay. Nice, our Observer tool coming in handy.
Indeed, and now it's Aura level 2.
Yeah, Aura definitely the better choice. It's gonna help a lot against the Acid Bomb, as well as for kiting purposes, obviously. And the DK should be safe with Destroyers being ready to dispel in time. So, some reinforcements being picked off by 14 Sway, once again looking for the counterattack into the main, and this time the Spirit Towers aren't quite ready as quickly as they were in game number 1, so this may this time force a response a lot earlier.
Okay, Acid Bomb would be gigantic, but he's focusing on the Acolytes. Here the towers are ready. He does have 2 Maulers here, level 3 for the Alchemist. He's killing a lot of ghouls here. And the Acolytes can't mine. It's only 3 of them remaining, as it seems he's just staying in this base, killing the towers. Of course, his expansion is gonna fall, but is the trade worth it? There is a town portal, and Destroyers are up. Expansion gone again. And he trades this now. Can he kill more Acolytes? Oh, Acid Bomb, that was nice. There's gonna be 2 more kills if he's not coiling them. Here's the first one. Oh, misses the coil as well.
That's a really expensive miss as well.
Yes. Oh boy.
Okay, once again he loses the Expo, but this time was even more expensive than in game number 1.
Before we start to analyze the situation, we have 3 donations here coming in. A little train. Knallbraten with the €5 donation. What I wanted to say is, best game, best casters, keep it up. Thank you so much. Siegfried with a €10 donation. You guys are amazing. Thanks a lot. And Florentin's tier 2 push, another Rocket Beans fan, coming in with another €10 donation. Be warned, I will come again. You are always welcome, my friend. So are all of you out there. That's a pretty cool contribution for the first game of the day.
Yeah, it's a serious hot streak. Wow,
Yes.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. 1-0 here is still struggling to get to 5 Acolytes. Finally he's there again, but he lost the Ziggurat earlier. Now he's supply stuck. He doesn't have ghouls anymore. But the lumber is looking okay-ish still. I was really surprised that 14 Sway wasn't trying to go for the the expansion right away again.
There is an expansion at the bottom left.
Ah, okay, but it's been scouted.
Yeah.
Such good scouting today. Very good. These little mind games of, you crept there and you had an expansion there, so you don't expect my expansion to be there. Don't seem to work so easily anymore.
Okay, cancelled now. Set up again, but the ghoul is there. Like 1-0 scouting again. So sick.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, and now the creep festivities truly begin. Both sides here getting high up in levels. I really think this should be Alchemist solo creeping, by the way. What's the Keeper really gonna provide?
Well,
is it level 4, level 5? What's the difference? When you're going for the base, I guess it's better for the Treants.
Yeah.
Which is where it's heading again.
He's doing that. 1-0 supply stuck at 40. He was a little slow with the Ziggurat, so Town Portal immediately. 350 gold gone. A lot of heroes are very tanky here, by the way. The DK found a Cutgust Gem of Hells at 1,100. Level 5 now, 1,200. And the big level 4 for the Lich.
the massive level 4, there we go.
The Alchemist, by the way, Parry, Rune Bracers, Talisman, the high HP that he has already, and also the Scourge Bone Chimes. Like, he has so much sustain.
And DK sells the Cutgust gem, by the way.
Huh.
Which is kind of understandable. The heroes are kind of the last thing you want to go for when you're the Night Elf. Statues for the healing, getting rid of them is really big. Getting rid of the Fiends, so there's no more anti-air is really big. Whereas the heroes are really hard to take out.
I like that 14 Sway has these 9 Fairy Dragons here close to the Acolytes, so he can constantly harass. Of course there's gonna be a lack of damage in the fight, but he doesn't want to fight. He wants his expansion up, which is coming in the upper right again. And so he's constantly harassing. 1-0 is reacting with the Spirit Tower, so more resources drained. Not only the Town Portal, but also these towers.
I really like the Destroyer scouting as well, by the way. Always keeping tabs of where the Night Elf is. And as long as he knows where he is, obviously he doesn't need a Destroyer with the army. Really good usage right there. Once again, a distraction pusher coming in. This time not a TP required, because 1-0 was already on his way, having had that information from the Destroyer earlier. Can he find some kills here now? Rare Miss Micro on the statue coming in too far forward, but will not die. Kolnova executes the Mauler and perhaps even a Berserker to follow. He will survive, actually. But most importantly, that was time for the expansion. It's up and entangling.
And another one coming up in the bottom left, unscouted. There was another Wisp in the bottom right, but there was one creep remaining. Was that due to the Town Portal, or did he leave the Shadow Priest up on purpose? So you can't expand there.
Shadow Priest?
Yeah, that's at the bottom
okay.
right.
If it was intentional, that's some next level stuff, man. I don't know. Possibly. Alright, here we go. 1-0 though knows exactly when this expo was finished, and if he can kill it now, that's something that can't be cancelled. Once again, resources lost. In the main, by the way, we're gonna have 4 Spirit Towers. Okay, good luck diving with the fairies into that Acolyte line.
There is one Acolyte missing though, isn't it? Okay, he's building it now with a second crypt finally. He really wants this crypt gone, and I can totally understand it. He's gonna trade it for the expansion though, but I think he couldn't stop this push anyway. With a Town Portal he could, but maybe he's so sure that he will expand at some point. Here is the Scout, by the way, once again with the Destroyer. But yeah, 14 Sway going for the production buildings. I like that.
Yeah, he can't fight right now. It is still the same problem as game number 1. You have the worst army, so you need the much bigger army. And he just doesn't have that yet. He needs more time, he needs more expansions. But 1-0, he's done with this game. He doesn't want to give him any more time. He's going for the knockout blow. He's going for the throat. And that is the Tree of Ages.
Okay, there must be a Town Portal now. He has one on the Keeper of the Grove. But he wiped out all production buildings. It's like a base race now. But what does it give you if you kill the Black Citadel? Oh, well, you can't build a slaughterhouse afterwards anymore. There's a lot of Treants, but they are about to expire. And the Tree of Eternity is falling as well.
Who's gonna lose this game of chicken here? 1-0 says, okay, I can't afford to lose the Black Citadel. I'm gonna have to TP back.
Ooh, pretty aggressively. Going for the Coil Nova on the Berserker and almost the surrender the Alchemist. Oh, he got it. Chemical Rage trying to fight out. There's the staff, of course, and no disable.
He's so tanky, dude.
He is super tanky. Expansion, the bottom left is up, but of course the Destroyer saw it. The Shredder is at the bottom left. Why? He's gonna lose that one. That's a big loss.
He's got all the lumber he's gonna need, though. Probably. So I think it's fine.
There's another expansion here in the upper right. He has to creep this as well, but the Destroyer... The timing of the scouts, man!
Yeah. His Destroyer control has been really good today. And next as well, by the way.
Yeah.
Ring +4 would actually not to be too bad here for the Alchemist.
Because he's not tanky enough already?
I mean, that's the one thing he's missing. He's got HP, he's got magic resistance. He's even got evasion. Only thing he's missing is armor.
Yeah. Well, he got the Orb of Darkness, which is not too great, I guess. And he had no Slaughterhouse anymore. So if 14 Sway is now killing the statues, there's no regen anymore.
He can remake the Slaughterhouse, though. He has the resources. Holding on to those for the time being. Seems like Counter Expo is going to be the preference here for now. As the Destroyer is returning home. Again for the Scout, perhaps? He knows exactly... Ah, he has 2 Destroyers now. Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense. No invul, by the way, on the undead side. This could be a little bit dangerous. If a Coil is on cooldown and perhaps the Destroyer Dispel as well, a Lich kill could maybe be possible. And I think 14 Sway has to hope for some kind of Hail Mary play like this at this point because he's so goddamn far behind.
There's another expansion in the upper left, but guess what? There's an Acolyte scouting this. So another attempt in the upper right. How many resources went into these trees without mining a single coin? It's insane. Destroyer again canceling this. Another push into the base, but he doesn't have that much normal damage or siege damage anymore. And there's repair. Of course he's gonna get damage on the Acolytes, which is nice and all, but 14 Sway will be without gold soon in the main.
And 1-0, we're very patient. Just continuing to creep. Gonna get his level 5. Lich, there it is. Pick up the tome. Otherwise, chat's gonna go crazy. He picks up the tome and the item. And now the Alchemist in trouble has the staff, though.
For
pretty good item.
Slow. Dodges the Nova with the Keeper, so he's not slowed down.
Level 3 Nova, dude. It's so
Yep.
sick.
Level 3 Coil Nova is up. And a bunch of mana as well. Destroyer,
DK?
expansion, scout it.
A player's forces
Yeah,
are under
all the
attack.
time. I really like the one Destroyer just consistently walking around, flying around rather it is, and looking for those expos. One Destroyer with the army is good enough, and the other one, being so mobile, can just keep on playing this game of whack-a-mole.
Oh, we have another donation coming in again from Yannis Canis Kappa for the 15 euros here. I'm gonna complete the daily goal. Thank you so much. That was quick. Usually Fridays are a bad day for streaming for us for some reason, but this day starting off really well.
Yeah, for 1-0 as well, starting off very well. Seems to be only inches away now from his victory. This is starting to look very stubborn from 14 Sway. Again, going into the main.
Yeah.
He has one out though, and that out is the mains are gonna expire. 1-0 cannot walk away with his Black Citadel, but he can with his Tree of Ages, which is gonna be done soon, I think, because, well, there's no more mining for the Night Elf right now.
Nope. 1-0, of course, was harassed in the base for quite a bit, so he can mine a little longer here. Shot goes down, but nice that he's staffed with his Lich, faking a town portal, forcing 14 Sway away.
Forces are under attack.
This is also the perfect counter base lane style. Have the Lich in the main with a staff and an invul, always ready to defend. And if you need to join with your army, you can go there with a staff. If it's ready only, of course, which it isn't right now. So now 1-0 is in a bit of trouble, stuck here without the Lich, but he has a Destroyer for the spell. So he should be able to save all of his Fiends if he's quick enough with a Dispel. For once, misses it. Rare mistake. But that's the first Fiend lost in forever, maybe even this entire game.
Yeah, pretty sure. Lich is back with the army. Expansion, upper left, bottom left. Here in the bottom right will be an expansion as well. 1-0 expanding in the upper right. Is the tree finally making his way over? No. He has Nature's Blessing, so he could just easily walk over.
Player's forces are under attack.
And for once here, the Destroyer is becoming a little bit complacent and not one of them looking for expansions. Going for the tree now, which really doesn't do that much anymore. He needs to, or should try to, keep on killing these expansion attempts. Okay, here we go. The last big fight of this game, perhaps.
6 supply gone for 1-0 because of Miss Micro, aiming for the Alchemist, but that doesn't do too much. Acid Bomb and Poison Ivy on the Lich, but there's another coil, 3 of them remaining thanks to the Sobi Mask. Level 6 on the Death Knight now. Unholy Aura level 3 most likely. Another Nova here. There is a Town Portal Potion and a Heal Scroll, so I don't know if focusing the Death Knight is the right choice. Going for the unit should be a little better, especially the statue.
Yeah, but statue's always so far in the back. 1-0 is so good with his statue control.
Yeah.
Always in range, always healing, never overexposed. Alchemist, we thought he was so tanky, but now he's dropping goddamn low, but the staff will save him once again.
14 Sway is dropping down hard in supply. He's picking up the fairies one by one. He's at 29 now, and the next Nova and Focus will possibly kill this Alchemist. Gets another Fiend out, though. Survives.
That coil would have killed the Alch, but instead he saves the Fiend. But it's okay. He's killing anything anyways. Everything else, I mean, anyways. Not the cleanest of games, perhaps, by 1-0. A few errors here and there, but very good scouting. He kept the expansions down, which was the most important thing. He didn't have to play his A game in the micro department here. But wait, is it over already?
I don't know, man. 2 expansions up, and here's an acid pump against the Acolytes. Ooh, take care, Nova. Whoa, Staff. The animation was almost there, but Coil Nova ends up on the Keeper, and 14 Sway calls GG as he knows the expansion is there. And yeah, his army was gone. 2-0 for 1-0. That was the expected result, but he didn't get smashed. It wasn't embarrassing at all. It wasn't just on 1-0's level. And in this matchup especially, that's no shame at all. So props for the not even 18-year-old 14 Sway. Yep. And of course, 1-0 in the fashion of a favorite going into the winner bracket final here.
Absolutely. Respectable performance by 14 Sway. 1-0 makes it through. I have to say, though, if 1-0 keeps on playing like this, in the next round, it's not going to be that one-sided, obviously. And if Life or Foggy show up with their A game, this might be a loss for 1-0. I think he has to step it up a little bit at least if he wants to be able to take out the next opponent here today.
Absolutely. Needs to take it more seriously, as one of the world's best Night Elves will face him in the winner bracket finals between Life and Foggy. 25-year-old Foggy against 22-year-old Life, the Rogue Warrior, back in the game and super duper strong, at least online. So a Night Elf mirror is coming up, but Foggy mirrors are always the best in the entire world. So I'm looking forward to that. We go into a little break. Thank you so much for the contributions once again. It's pretty overwhelming for a Friday, as we said, especially that early in the cast. So thank you guys again. And yeah, we'll be right back. Get some snacks or get some dinner already. See you in a bit.